Hey folks, Eric here, the Whatever Guy, because it really is whatever me. Do you folks want to know about these lower tier licenses getting ready for production? You guys stick around, man, and we'll talk about that. As you guys know me, my name's Eric. I'm the Whatever Guy, and I use it a couple days a week, basically keeping you guys updated in the world of Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, hemp cannabis, just what's going on in our realm. And today, man, sitting here bullshitting around on an early Thursday morning, getting ready to start my day. And as you guys know, man, we have been following this debacle that we have called the Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission for quite some time. And it has been my argument many times on this channel that if we had just followed the law from the very beginning, that we wouldn't be in the position that we're in. And then I flip over to, I think it was Marijuana Moment or Alabama.com, maybe it was even Alabama Reporter, and I saw an article by Josh Moon where he was responding to John McMillan, the director of the AMCC, that was basically stating that all of these lawsuits were frivolous. And they're not frivolous. Like they are not frivolous along the way. There's a few of those in there that might be frivolous. There's a few of those in there that might be willing to, take a chance at holding up the commission and trying to get some sort of legislature to come through and fix this issue right here. But the fact of the matter is the AMCC has not followed the rules that the legislator laid out in the very beginning. And if they had, we wouldn't be in a position we're in. And now we fall forward into a position where we are in a position where we have all the lower tier licenses have been issued. For those of you that don't understand what's going on here, we have several different types of licenses, from cultivator, processor, labs, secure transport, even dispensaries. And then we have integrated licenses. And integrated licenses is really where the lawsuits are at. That's where all the big money is, because it's all the lower tier licenses scooped up into one. Like if you have an integrated licenses, you were able to grow, produce, secure transport. It's all seed to sale right there in house, from farm to dispensary, because you own every step of the product, every step of the process along the way. And that's what the integrated licenses are. But really what is holding us up at this point right here for those lower tier licenses is the lawsuits for the dispensaries. And again, I've said many times before, I feel like if the AMCC had just followed the rules the way they are laid out, then we wouldn't be in the position we're in. I was talking to Antoine Mordecan last week, CEO of Native Black Cultivation up in Montgomery and Birmingham, Alabama, if you guys know. I've talked to him quite a bit, and I like Antoine, man. Antoine Mordecan is one of those guys that draws a line in the sand and basically tells you where he stands, and he has no problem explaining his position on how things are going in the industry. And the shitty thing about it is like when we had this conversation the other day, he was making me aware that a lot of the lower tier licenses were moving forward. They were moving forward with everything that they needed to do to get to a point where they could grow. And they were going to fall forward into a position where they would be ready to go, like completely ready to go. And we would have no place for them to get that product to. Like we could grow it, we could cultivate it, we could process it, we could manufacture it, we could do secure transport it to anywhere we wanted to go. We can lab test it because we have all those licenses approved. All those license holders are moving forward with their whatever they need to do to get ready for medical marijuana, but they have no place to sell it. Like there's no place for them to sell it. And these dispensaries are the retail end of what's going on here. Like all those licenses, all those people that had those licenses are basically held up on the other end because we don't have any dispensaries. Now, when Antoine Mordecan told me this last week, I was immediately going to make a video the next day, but then I figured the best thing for me to do was to reach out to some of these other license holders and have a conversation with them and find out exactly where they are in the production of, getting ready for medical marijuana, barring the fact that they don't have a dispensary to get the product to. And as I found out, what I found out was talking to several of these owners and several of these representatives from these companies that got these awarded licenses that do not wish to be, put on camera. They don't want their name put out there, which I will speak on that in just a moment. They are moving forward. Like they are moving forward, and we're going to be in a position where probably not very long from now, if not now, we are ready for production of marijuana in the state of Alabama. We could have medical marijuana in the state of Alabama within the next month or so if they would just get dispensaries figured out in whatever this litigation and lawsuits or frivolous lawsuits that John McMillan has pointed out in his little news article that he did last week. Now, let me just say this. There's a lot of companies out there. Like I said, I talked to a lot of representatives. I found out that a lot of these companies are moving forward. They're not taking any half steps. They're doing everything that they got to do to become regulated and legal to do medical marijuana in the state of Alabama. The fact of the matter is, none of those people want their name out there. None of those people want to rock the boat. Like with everything going on with the AMCC and everything going on with litigation and every fucking lawsuit that's going on, you literally have companies out there that have not drawn a line in the sand, and they're not standing on it. Antoine Mordecan, he has drawn his line in the sand and he stands on it, and he has no issue coming forward and talking to you about what's going on with the Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission. But you take someone like All City Labs over there that has promised me media many times. They have wanted me to do many videos, many articles, many news things, many marketing a lot of marketing on what their position is as far as the medical marijuana program goes. And I won't do it simply because, one, they have failed to get me the media every time. And every time I went back to them and asked them about it, they have come back to me and said, oh, we just don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to make anybody mad. We don't want to get. Listen, guys, you have got to get to a position where you are drawing a line in the sand and you were standing on it. This whiffle waffle back and forth is not going to work for those companies out there. And it's crazy that we are in a position we're in right now. And we've got these fucking dispensaries that are basically holding up medical marijuana in the state of Alabama. Now, personally, I'm not someone that's ever going to get a medical marijuana card because I can get what I need from the hemp side of the industry. And obviously I work closely with a lot of the Alabama medical marijuana operators up in the state of Alabama. But the fact of the matter is I will never get a license. I will never get a medical marijuana card to be able to go buy medical marijuana dispensary because I'm not going to jump through all those freaking hoops when I can get my stuff legally. We need to deschedule this and just get this descheduled all the way around and fuck these medical marijuana programs. But as it stands right now, we've got every hand that we can get in the pot in the state of Alabama, and we've got the AMCC, and we got litigation, and we've got we've got everybody that are firing shots into the middle of this pond, man, that is just creating a hole, and we are not moving any step forward on anything. Like, none of these companies out there are willing to stand up and say, hey man, you guys are fucked up, because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to get their license taken away. And that is really what is screwing up the system, guys. Like, we need people that are going to stand up and tell these people in the state that you are ready for production, and you are sitting back, hiding back here, trying to figure out like what is going to be the happen, who is shooting at me the most. Like, I don't want to make the MCC mad, even though they have screwed this process up the whole way. I don't want to make them mad. I don't want to make anybody else mad, but I am going to try to come forward and be a good, upstanding company in the state of Alabama where medical marijuana is being produced. And then that right there just tells me that you guys are already like sketchy from the very beginning. Antoine Mortican, he's got no problem telling you what's going on in his production facility right now. He's got no problem telling you that he is moving forward. He is no problem telling you what's going on and how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen in the industry. And for those of you out there that don't want your name put out there because you've got a license, you're idiots. Like, you are the ones that are helping screw this fucking process up from the very beginning, because you were not willing to come forward and tell folks that you are ready for production in the state of Alabama. You need to make your voice heard. Am I the only one out here besides Antoine Mortican that is saying, that you guys need to get off your asses and at least stand up? And if you're not going to do it, at least put your foot behind someone like Antoine Mortican that will go out there and speak for you. Because you companies out there, man, you can't make everybody happy. You're going to piss someone off. Somebody is going to be mad along the way. And you know what? If it's the AMCC, then fuck it. Like, they have fucked the process up in the very beginning. We already know that we are tied up in litigation for months and months and months to come. And we are maybe sitting on medical marijuana next year, when we could have medical marijuana next month. Like, we could literally have medical marijuana in the state of Alabama probably next month if we could just get our shit right and our ducks in a row. And some of these companies would stand up and let everybody else know that, hey man, we are ready for production. The only thing holding us up is dispensaries. And I would imagine if you would do that, then probably the patients in Alabama would probably start speaking up also. And then we would get some of this stuff fixed. But for those of you out there that are sitting back in the shadows and you have a license and you're not willing to come forward and at least express your ability to get medical marijuana up on the shelf because you're too scared to piss somebody off because they're going to take the license away, you're fucked up. Like, I don't even want, like, you're not the company that I want in Alabama representing medical marijuana. You're not. You're not a stand-up company. When I look you in the eye, I can't find out what line you stand on. Your line moves too much, and it's just we're in a situation now where we need voices. We need people to stand up. We need people to let the legislature know. We need people to let the AMCC know that they have screwed up, that we need to get medical marijuana up on the shelf. And it's a shame that all of these lower tier licenses are moving forward, spending money, getting facilities up, getting their processes down to a science, and they have no place to sell it. Like, we have no place to go buy it, and they have no place to put it in the shop for you to go sell it. We're in a crappy position right here, guys. Like, I don't know how we are going to move forward to fix it. I am truly of the belief that those integrated licenses will be rescinded one more time, as we have had those licenses already rescinded 2 or 3 times prior to this. All of the licenses have been rescinded twice. And the AMCC has admitted several times that they have made mistakes and they have screwed this process up along the way. So what is wrong with you companies out there standing up and saying exactly what they're saying? Like, what is wrong with that? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. And you know what? For you companies out there, especially the 1 or 2 that were looking for me to come work for you, fuck you. I'm not working for you. Like, if you don't have a line for you to stand on, if you don't have a backbone, I don't want to work for you. Like, I would never work work for you. I would be more than happy to just to sit over here, go back to my fucking handyman business or whatever the case is, and do that rather than deal with a company that has a moving line. Antoine Mordecan, if that dude ever hired me, if that dude ever called me and said, hey man, come to work for me, I'm probably moving my family up that way and going to work for him, because that dude right there has got a line in the sand. He stands for what he believes in, and he's got no problem speaking the truth. All right, folks, whatever got signing off, and I will talk to you guys later, man. And I hope at some point that we can get some sort of resolution on this medical marijuana in the state of Alabama sometime soon. All right, love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.